Year of Joe Hill, we organized a concert 40 years ago in Vancouver, and we had Earl Robinson, who made the song, and we had Utah Phillips, and we had a bunch of labor poets from Vancouver, and a bunch of other singers. So it's the tradition goes on. We don't forget.
The Preacher and the Slave, many of you know this song. You will eat by and by in that glorious land in the sky.
Long-haired preachers come out every night. You sure that's the key? Long-haired preachers come out every night. Try to tell you what's wrong and what's right. But when asked about something to eat, they will answer in voices so sweet. You will eat by and by in that glorious land in the sky, way up high, work and pray, live on hay. You'll get pie in the sky when you die.
That's a lie.
Oh, the Starvation Army, they play, and they sing and they clap and they play, till they've got all your coin on the drum. Then they'll tell you when you're on the bum, you will eat by and by in that glorious land in the sky, way up high, work and pray, live on hay. You'll get pie in the sky when you die.
That's a lie.
Holy rollers and jumpers come out, and they sing and they scream and they shout. Give your money to Jesus, they say. He will cure all diseases today. You will eat by and by in that glorious land in the sky, way up high, work and pray, live on hay. You'll get pie in the sky when you die.
That's a lie.
If you work hard for children and wife, try to get something good in this life. You're a bad man and a sinner, they tell. When you die, you will sure go to hell. You will eat by and by in that glorious land in the sky, way up high, work and pray, live on hay. You'll get pie in the sky when you die. Working folks of all countries unite. Side by side, we for freedom will fight. When this world and its wealth we have gained, to the bosses we'll sing this refrain. You will eat by and by when you've learned how to cook and to fry. Chop some wood, do you good, and you'll eat in that sweet by and by.
That's no lie.
Yeah, that's good.
This song I actually hadn't planned to sing, but I went this afternoon to the presentation by Larry Keane, who was the president of the BC Teachers Federation, of which both of us were members for many years. And in 1982, Bill Bennett was the Premier of British Columbia, and he brought in a massive restraint budget. And the main targets, or the main victims of this budget, of course, were the people at the lowest level and working people. And teachers, of course, one of the things I got really tired of when I was a teacher, and I'm really glad I'm not teaching anymore because of that, is we kept getting punched in the jaw by the government. And it's still going on. We had a long teacher strike last year, and the teachers are still reeling from it. Anyway, I made up this song at the time, and I sang it. I'm just going to get it. Can you get me a chair to put my foot on so I can play this thing without dropping it? I first sang this song at a rally that was at the Agrodome at the PNE, which is like a sort of an indoor stadium kind of affair. Thanks. And Bill Vander Zalm was invited to this rally. Now, somebody didn't know Bill Vander Zalm very well to invite him to this rally, because Bill Vander Zalm is a real smoothie. I don't know if any of you have seen pictures of him, but he has this lantern jaw and these big white teeth and this huge smile. And he sat up there on stage and smiled the whole time and sang along with all the songs. So it was kind of...
Counterproductive.
It was a bit odd. Anyway, the last verse is historical. It's the bills. There was Bill Vander Zalm, who comes up in that verse, and he was the Minister of Education. Bill 89 was one of the many bills that were passed against working people and poor people. And Bill Bennett, of course, was the Premier of British Columbia. There's a chorus, which is very easy.
Like most Labour songs, this starts off as a folk song. It's a zipper song. You zip out the old words and zip in the new words. So those of you familiar with the East Coast culture will know this is called Hard, Hard Times and comes from Newfoundland. But it's a wonderful vehicle for all kinds of new words.
I haven't sung it in years, so I haven't even practiced it. Anyway, your part, it's a zipper song. The original song was a Newfoundland song about the poor fishers selling their fish. Your part goes, and it's hard, hard times, and it's hard, hard times. Very easy. Come all you good people, I'll sing you a song about BC teachers. I'm going to sing it unaccompanied because I'm damned if I even remember what key I used to sing it in. Come all you good people, I'll sing you a song about BC teachers, how they get along. They teach all your children from 5 to 18, the rich and the poor and the bored and the keen. And it's hard, hard times, try it. And it's hard, hard times. You start with a new bunch of kids in the fall. You hope and you pray that your class will be small. 25 children is plenty for you, and then there are cutbacks and you get 42.
And it's hard, hard times.
They're packed in your class like sardines in a can. You try to come up with a good seating plan, but there's cursing and swearing and crawling the wall till you wished you could throw them all out in the hall.
And it's hard, hard times.
The lunch bell, it rings and you're straight out the door. You've run out of worksheets, you'll have to print more. But the ditto is broken, and that ain't the worst, for your coffee's stone cold and your bladder's near burst.
And it's hard, hard times.
You go to the stock room to get some supplies. You open the door and the tears fill your eyes, for the shelves are all empty. You'll just have to wait, and your textbooks are 25 years out of date.
And it's hard, hard times.
Well, the best thing to do is to fight with a will. Together we know we can get rid of Bill Vander Zalm, and of Bill 89, and of Bill Bennett too, then we'll all be just fine.
And it's hard, hard times.
Yes, it's hard, hard times.
Now, somewhere back there on the table there, why don't you hold that little red book up, the 1932 edition of the Wobbly Songbook. We were given this by an old wob in St. John, New Brunswick. We met very accidentally, and he took us down onto his son's boat. He had a little tiny little boat in the harbor there, and we sat there drinking coffee, and he sang his way. It was his book. He sang his way through the book because the tunes are all pop songs of the 1910s and 20s, and who knows them? So we got a whole bunch of tunes in our heads, and he gave us the book at the end. Fellow worker, wonderful lad. Yeah. We made a radio show about him too, which was a lot of fun. He talked about coming to Vancouver in the 20s, and he worked on the harvest specials in the prairies and came to Vancouver and talked about the women walking up and down the street begging for money for dope, because there was a very bad scene downtown East Side then, and there is still today, of course. Anyway, this is a song which I've never heard anybody else sing, but it's called Mr. Block, and I think you'll know Mr. Block.
It's got a long chorus. Oh, Mr. Block, you were born by mistake. You take the cake. You make me ache. Go tie a rock on your block and go jump in the... Kindly do that for liberty's sake. As long as you get your aches and aches and aches at the end, you got it.
What's the first line?
Come give me your attention.
Come give me your attention. I'll introduce to you a man who is a credit to the old red, white, and blue. His head is made of lumber and solid as a rock. He is a common worker and his name is Mr. Block. And Block, he thinks he may be president someday. Oh, Mr. Block, you were born by mistake. You take the cake. You make me ache. Go tie a rock on your block and go jump in the lake. Kindly do that for liberty's sake. Now Mr. Block got lucky. He got a job by G. The shark got $7 for job and fare and fee. They shipped him to the desert and left him with his truck. But when he tried to find his job, he sure was out of luck. He shouted, "That's too raw. I'll fix 'em with the law." Oh, Mr. Block, you were born by mistake. You take the cake. You make me ache. Go tie a rock on your block and go jump in the lake. Kindly do that for liberty's sake. Block hiked back to the city, but wasn't doing well. He said, "I'll join the union, the great AFL." He got a job that morning, got fired by the night. He said, "I'll see Sam Gompers and he'll fix that foreman right." Sam Gompers said, "You see, you've got our sympathy. Oh, Mr. Block, you were born by mistake. You take the cake. You make me ache. Go tie a rock on your block and go jump in the lake. Kindly do that for liberty's sake." Election day, he shouted, "A socialist for mayor!" The comrade got elected and he happy was for fair. Till after the election, he got an awful shock when a great big socialistic bull did rap him on the block. And Comrade Block did sob. I helped him get his job. Oh, Mr. Block, you were born by mistake. You take the cake. You make me ache. Go tie a rock on your block and go jump in the lake. Kindly do that for liberty's sake. Now Block, he died one evening, I'm very glad to state. He climbed the golden ladder up to the pearly gate. He said, "Oh, Mr. Peter, one thing I'd like to tell. I'd like to meet the Astorbilts and John D. Rockefeller." Old Pete said, "Is that so? You'll meet them down below." Oh, Mr. Block, you were born by mistake. You take the cake. You make me ache. Go tie a rock on your block and go jump in the lake. Kindly do that for liberty's sake. Da-da-da. Kindly do that for liberty's sake. Mr. Block.
Well, one of the songs that this old wobbly sang to us in St. John, New Brunswick, was a song that we hadn't heard before. It's a lesser-known Joe Hill song called "The White Slave." And when he was singing it, he was almost in tears describing these women walking up and down Hastings Street in Vancouver. In fact, it was interesting when we were doing research for our last book, we found a description in the Princeton, BC paper of a young woman working in a laundry and the kind of hard work and exploitation that happened there, and that relates directly to this song. If I can remember how it starts. There we go. One little girl, fair as a pearl, works every day in the laundry. All that she made for food she paid, so she slept on a park bench so soundly. An old procuress spied her there and whispered softly in her ear, "Come with me now, my girlie, don't sleep out in the cold. Your face and tresses curly will bring you fame and gold. Automobiles to ride in, diamonds and silks to wear. You'll be a star bright down in the red light. You'll make your fortune there." Same little girl, no more a pearl, walks all alone by the river. 5 years have flown, her health has gone, she would look at the water and shiver. Whene'er she'd stop to rest and sleep, she'd hear a voice call from the deep, "Come with me now, my girlie, don't sleep out in the cold. Your face and tresses curly will bring you fame and gold. Automobiles to ride in, diamonds and silks to wear. You'll be a star bright down in the red light. You'll make your fortune there." Girls in this way fall every day and have been falling for ages. Who is to blame? You know his name. It's the boss who pays starvation wages. A homeless girl can always hear temptation calling everywhere. "Come with me now, my girlie, don't sleep out in the cold. Your face and tresses curly will bring you fame and gold. Automobiles to ride in, diamonds and silks to wear. You'll be a star bright down in the red light. You'll make your fortune there." The White Slave. Anyone recognize the tune?
Meet me tonight in dreamland.
There's kind of a wicked irony to that.
And he said, I think they're doing it to our sisters. This is the Tramp.
If you all will shut your trap, I will tell you about a chap that was broke and up against it too for fair. He was not the kind to shirk, he was looking hard for work, but he heard the same old story everywhere. Tramp, 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 keep on a tramping, nothing doing here for you. If I catch you round again, you will wear the ball and chain. Keep on tramping, that's the best thing you can do.
That's the chorus.
He walked up and down the street till the shoes fell off his feet. In a house he spied a woman cooking stew. And he said, "How do you do? May I chop some wood for you?" What the woman told him made him feel so blue. Tramp, 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 keep on a tramping, nothing doing here for you. If I catch you round again, you will wear the ball and chain. Keep on tramping, that's the best thing you can do. Down the street he met a cop, and the copper made him stop, and he asked him, "When did you blow into town?" "Come with me up to the judge." But the judge, he said, "Oh, fudge, bums that have no money needn't come around." Tramp, 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 keep on a tramping, nothing doing here for you. If I catch you round again, you will wear the ball and chain. Keep on tramping, that's the best thing you can do. Finally came the happy day when his life did pass away. He was sure he'd go to heaven when he died. When he reached the pearly gate, Will Santa Pete, the mean old skate, slammed the gate right in his face and loudly cried, "Tramp, tramp, tramp, keep on a tramping, nothing doing here for you. If I catch you round again, you will wear the ball and chain. Keep on tramping, that's the best thing you can do."
In despair, he went to hell with the devil there to dwell, for the reason he'd no other place to go. And he said, I'm full of sin, so for Christ's sake let me in. But the devil told him, beat it, you're a beau. Tramp, 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 keep on a tramping. Nothing doing here for you. If I catch you round again, you will wear the ball and chain. Keep on tramping, that's the best thing you can do. Yeah. Yes. Yes.
This is a modern zipper song. This song was made up by some dock workers in British Columbia. Now, in British Columbia, it used to be if you were a fisherman and you wanted to make lots of money, you wanted to get a herring roe license. Because what would happen is that you would sell the herring roe to Japan, and there it's a delicacy. And the First Nations people would gather herring roe. The herring used to lay their eggs on the kelp. And so the First Nations people would collect the kelp, on which was the herring roe. And one of the ways that you eat it, and it's quite delicious actually, is you dry it out in the sun, and it's kind of like chips. But we, being wasteful Western North American type industrial people, don't use that ecological method. We catch the fish when they're full of roe, and then we extract the roe from them. So what you have is you have a conveyor belt, and this is, of course, mostly women working on this conveyor belt, and the herring comes by and you go, pfft. And the next herring comes by and you go, pfft.
You haven't actually got to make the noise. The fish will make the noise. You just.
Well, you're basically squeezing the roe out of each fish as it comes by. And you can imagine what kind of a job that is and what you smell like at the end of the day. And so this song was made up by some of the women who worked at that job. And we actually sang this on a CBC radio program in Vancouver a number of years ago. And then after the show, we actually got a call from one of the women who was involved in making the song. So that was really quite gratifying, because we didn't actually know. We knew one of the names maybe, but we then got a bit more background on it. Anyway, it has a part for you to sing, and you'll recognize the tune. I'll start with the chorus. You pop 16 tons, what do you get? A whole lot stinkier and deeper in debt. Oh, honey, don't you call me, 'cause I can't go. I smell too much like herring roe. Try it with me. Boom, 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 boom. You pop 16 tons, what do you get? A whole lot stinkier and deeper in debt. Oh, honey, don't you call me, 'cause I can't go. I smell too much like herring roe. Boom, 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 boom. Well, I woke up one morning when the sun didn't shine. I picked up my apron and I walked to the line. I popped 16 tons of grade A roe, and the floor lady says, you're going too slow. You pop 16 tons. What do you get? A whole lot stinkier and deeper in debt. Oh, honey, don't you call me, 'cause I can't go. I smell too much like herring roe. Boom, 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 boom. When you see me coming, better step aside. A lot of folks didn't, and a lot of folks died. I got a back of iron and a nose of steel, and if the smell don't get you, then nothing will. You pop 16 tons. What do you get? A whole lot stinkier and deeper in debt. Oh, honey, don't you call me, 'cause I can't go. I smell too much like herring roe. Boom, 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 boom. You get on the bus about 7 o'clock. Another day coming, working down on the dock. You can't find a seat 'cause the crowds are thick, but at the next bus stop, you can take your pick. You pop 16 tons. What do you get? A whole lot stinkier and deeper in debt. Oh, honey, don't you call me, 'cause I can't go. I smell too much like herring roe. Boom, 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 boom. It's Friday night and we just got paid. We're going downtown and we're gonna get laid. So Ladner Hotel, here we come. And if you don't breathe deeply, we can have some fun. You pop 16 tons. What do you get?
a whole lot stinkier and deeper in debt. Oh, honey, don't you call me 'cause I can't go. I smell too much like herring roe. Boom, 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 ba-dum, boom, 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 boom.
Now, some people say that fish is fine, but a herring, when it's sitting there soaked up in brine, is slimy and slippery through, and the blood and the guts splatter all over you. You pop 16 tons. What do you get? A whole lot stinkier and deeper in debt. Oh, honey, don't you call me 'cause I can't go. I smell too much like herring roe.
Casey Jones. Another Joe Hill song, well known. The workers on the CP line to strike sent out a call. But Casey Jones, the union scab, he wouldn't strike at all. His boiler rip was rusty and his driver's on the bum, and his engine and its bearings, they were all out of plumb. Casey Jones, he kept his junk pile running. Casey Jones, he was working double time. Casey Jones got a wooden medal for being good and faithful on the CP line. Now the workers said to Casey, won't you help us win this strike? Casey said, let me alone, you'd better take a hike. Then someone put a bunch of railroad ties across the track, and Casey hit the river with an awful smack. Casey Jones, he hit the river bottom. Casey Jones, he broke his bloomin' spine. Casey Jones, he turned into an angel, and he took a trip to heaven on the CP line. Now when Casey got to heaven, to the pearly gates, he said, I'm Casey Jones, the guy that pulled the CP freight. St. Peter said, come in, my musicians are on strike. You can get a job a scabbing any time you like. Casey Jones, he got a job in heaven. Casey Jones, he was doing mighty fine. Casey Jones went scabbing on the angels, just like he did to workers on the CP line. Now the angels got together and they said it wasn't fair for Casey Jones to go around scabbing everywhere. The Angels Union Local number 23 were there, and they promptly fired Casey down that golden stair. Casey Jones, he went to hell a-flying. Casey Jones, the devil said, oh fine. Casey Jones, get busy shoveling sulfur. That's what you get for scabbing on the CP line. Casey Jones.
We just want to mention, we're going to do a couple more songs and we'll finish with Solidarity Forever. And we run a music festival in Princeton, and it's the 14th to the 16th of August. This will be our 8th year. It's a people's festival. It's free. It happens right in the middle of town. We have 2 outdoor stages and 1 indoor stage. And it is mostly traditional music and things like Celtic, things like sea shanties, things like labor songs.
It's free.
It's free. The musicians who come are all people who are passionate about traditional music, and they come because there's a couple of really good parties. Essentially, it's a party that a festival, we get the money for the festival so that we can have the party. But it's a wonderful weekend, and Princeton, for those of you not familiar with BC geography, is about 3 hours east of Vancouver.
It's about 5 hours north of here.
Yeah, yeah.
Go to Bellingham, then go due north,
And then east. But it's a wonderful weekend, and as I say, it's free and it's lots of fun. So just type in Princeton Festival and you'll find us. Right. Another song about fish, this time about salmon. This one was made up by a friend of ours named Linda Chobotuk, who's actually going to be singing at the festival this year. She has made up a number of very fine songs, this being one of them.
All deriving from work she herself has done. So she worked on the line. She knows where the songs come from.
Actually, this is another women's worker song, And in the canneries, of course, it was mostly women, and to a very large extent, First Nations women who worked in the canneries. Or you call them Native Americans here, don't you? Yeah. Well, in Canada, they're nations, and they actually negotiate with the government nation to nation, which is an interesting development. Anyway, that's a whole other story. The guys on the dock lays around, race the forklift, and sass the floor lady till it's time for their tea. Then they sit at the table by the window that opens, and they get paid $1 more an hour than me. High is the smell, low is the pay, long are the hours, why do we stay? Somewhere outside a whole summer slips away, while we're stuck in here canning salmon. Now many of you know this song, and those of you who don't, yes. Good. High is the smell, low is the pay, long are the hours, why do we stay? Somewhere outside a whole summer slips away, while we're stuck in here canning salmon. The machinery's so loud that we say we've gone can deaf. Our shift is long over before we can hear. So they keep the noise level just under the limit, so they won't have to buy us the right safety gear. High is the smell, low is the pay, long are the hours, why do we stay? Somewhere outside a whole summer slips away, while we're stuck in here canning salmon. First we can springs, so heavy our arms ache. Then we do socks, which are easy to can. Then we can pinks that are mashed up and rotten, so they're packed into pound cans and shipped to Japan. High is the smell, low is the pay, long are the hours, why do we stay? Somewhere outside a whole summer slips away, while we're stuck in here canning salmon. Last night we were waiting for a boat to come in, so they kept us on line, just standing around. So we didn't know that outside on the river, the boat had flipped over and 2 men had drowned. High is the cost, low is the pay, long are the hours, why do we stay? Somewhere outside a whole summer slips away.
Solidarity forever, for the union makes us strong. It is we who plowed the prairies, built the cities where they trade, dug the mines and built the workshops, endless miles of railway laid. Now we stand outcast and starving midst the wonders we have made, but the union makes us strong. Solidarity forever, solidarity forever, solidarity forever, for the union makes us strong. They have taken untold millions that they never toiled to earn, but without our brain or muscle, not a single wheel can turn. We can smash their haughty power, gain our freedom when we learn that the union makes us strong. Solidarity forever, solidarity forever, solidarity forever, for the union makes us strong. In our hands is placed a power greater than their hoards of gold, greater than the might of atoms, magnified 1,000-fold. We can bring to birth a new world from the ashes of the old, for the union makes us strong. Solidarity forever, Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. For the union makes us strong.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Is this alive? It is. I want to thank each and every one of you for coming here this evening and for supporting Pacific Northwest Labor History Association for as long as I've known Ross and been married to Ross, which is close to 20 years. And I thank you all on behalf of myself and Ross for participating in his organization that he's now ready to turn over to the next generation, to the next people that are interested in being part of labor history. And again, thank you so much. Thank you.